Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to February 11th regular meeting of the College Park Business and Industrial Development Authority. On behalf of the BIDA Board, I want to thank each of you for being here and for your commitment to economic and the future of College Park. Before we begin our agenda, I would like for our BIDA Secretary to acknowledge our BIDA members.
Chair Supernia Willis.
Present.
Vice Chair Dr. Lethea Williams.
Present.
Secretary Treasurer Julian Riesenover. Might have stepped out. Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Joe Karn. Mayor Bianca Motley Brown.
Present.
Board Member Tracy Wyatt.
Present.
Board Member Mrs. Celissa Jefferson.
Here.
And that's all the members. There is a quorum.
Okay, thank you. We're pleased to welcome our guests this evening. At this time, we ask that our visitors and partners please introduce yourselves. We'll start on my left and we'll move around the room. Please share your name, your role, and your organization.
I'm Rose Stewart with Ignite Resources.
Olivia Dorsey, Legislative Aide to Councilwoman Dr. Jamel McKenzie.
Pamela Real, Dr. Jamel McKenzie.
Dr. Jamel McKenzie, Ward 1 Counselor.
Jeffrey McKenzie, husband of Jamel McKenzie.
Rex Willis, Favor House.
Yana Spahn, Executive Director of the Gateway Center campus.
Michael Hicks, Interim City Manager, City of College Park.
Latanya Wiley, BIDA Board Counsel.
Hannah Adiogan, BIDA Assistant Secretary Treasurer.
Hikis Garcia, Program Manager, City of College Park.
Vomalena Janiku, Business Owner.
Okay, we'll start on this side of the room, on the wall, please.
Rob Gaulas, Windsor State Intelligence.
Victor Harper, Ward 1 Historian.
Bishop Sheriff Richard Langford, retired 50-year resident of College Park.
Amen.
Camille Williams Joyce, mother of Naya Joyce, one of your bridge builders.
Louise Harris, resident of College Park, mom of Favor House.
Sherry Williams, treasurer of 4, grew up in College Park, 718 West Columbia Avenue.
Brenda Smith, vice president of 4, heritage resident of College Park's 1 square mile.
Charles Dio, board member 4.
Brenda Dill, board member of 4.
Linda Hightower, president of 4.
And that's all of our guests.
Okay. We appreciate your presence and look forward to a meaningful meeting. With introductions complete, we will now move forward with our meeting agenda. It is my honor, It is my honor to invite someone very special to offer our opening prayer. As we observe February as Black History Month, we pause to recognize leaders whose lives reflect courage, perseverance, service, and faith. Black history is not only something we study, it's something we are blessed to witness through individuals whose lives have shaped our communities. Tonight we are honored to have with us a distinguished resident of College Park and truly a living legend, Reverend Sheriff Richard Langford. Reverend Langford made history as the first African-American sheriff of Fulton County, breaking barriers and serving with integrity, strength, and fairness. His leadership in law enforcement opened doors and set standards of accountability and service that continues to this day. Beyond public service, he has faithfully served in ministry, providing spiritual leadership and mentorship to many in our community. We are especially proud to recognize him as a recipient of the Bridge Builder Award at our BIDA celebration, where he also graciously led us in prayer. That evening reflected exactly who he is, a bridge between generations, between service and faith, and between history and the future. During this Black History Month, we are reminded that legacy is not just about the past. It is about the living examples among us. We're grateful that he calls College Park home and that he continues to pour into this city with wisdom and prayer. Please join me in warmly welcoming Reverend Sheriff Richard Langford as he leads us in prayer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to certainly be a part of this meeting, just as a part of ministerial ethics. You don't have to clap for the prayer. It's a part of us in communication with God. And I appreciate the fact that you start your meetings in prayer. So if you will, if you bow your heads with me, let us pray together. Eternal God, our Father and our precious friend, Lord, we pause this evening in reverence and in humility to honor you, not only with our words, but also with our thoughts and with our lives. We recognize you, Lord, as the God of all creation, the sustainer of all life, and the redeemer of all souls. And then we thank thee, O God, for the dedication and the true commitment of each member of this authority. And Father, we remain grateful to them for sacrificing their time and so much of their energy to give our city and our region the improvements and the opportunities to make this an outstanding place for each of us to live. We also remain grateful, God, for the economic impact and the social revitalizations that they have implemented for our good. And so we pray thee, O God, that thou might give them renewed visions for the betterment of our community and for the uplifting and the encouragement of every citizen. May their decisions remain covered in wisdom and knowledge and understanding as they continue to work together for all of us. Now, Father, we ask you to bless this food that we've already received. Make it nourishment to our bodies. Let it give health and strength to each one here as we honor you. And we ask it in the precious, the mighty miracle-working name of our Lord and our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Lord. Thanks. Thank you, Reverend Langford. And I pray that each of you all are enjoying your meal tonight. I thought it was fitting that we have something special for Valentine's Day. But as our community, as we grow in love, and so I pray that this meeting be a meeting where we show more love to one another. So I want to get started. I just want to say that. But do we have any additions, deletions, amendments to the agenda? Okay. All right, Mr.
Sorry, Madam Chairman, I have two deletions.
Okay.
One second. January 14th, 2026 meeting minutes, correct?
Yes.
No, we're not there. No, any additions to the agenda?
Oh, I thought you said deletion.
No.
No, okay, sorry.
To the agenda.
I have an amendment to the agenda. So on the schedule, we have a meeting on April 8th, which is a budget meeting for the city of College Park. So we can move it, the BIDA meeting, to either the 7th or the 9th. I think the GRCC will allow that. So if you want to make a motion to move the BIDA meeting, because on the 8th, it's going to be a budget meeting day.
Okay, we're going to move that to 6.
For new business.
6G.
6G. Under
6G. Under new business.
Yes.
Well, okay. Could we, okay, that's fine, but could we call that in, we're gonna talk about.
We're going to talk about it, we just changed it, yes, we're just going to talk about it. No.
Okay. I'd like to add an item to the agenda, 6H, a discussion to consider how BIDA can promote the arts in College Park. 6H.
6H. Also, consideration to give authorization for BIDA to give the city consent to approve an appraisal. We'll change 6. And we're going to change 6C because we're going to delete legal invoices. And we're going to put the consideration there for the appraisal for 6C and 6 West. Okay. Any others? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda? Okay, motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Rosenhauer. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay. Motion passes. Next, we'll have the approval of the minutes of our January 14th meeting.
All right, Madam Chairman, I'd like to have a couple of items deleted.
Okay.
On those January 14th meeting minutes. I don't believe, well, let me first give page 6 of 10, line item 230.
What, page 6 of 10?
There's 10 pages. Page 6 of 10, am I saying it correctly? Kind of you looking at me. Oh, I'm sorry, package page 9, thank you. Package page 9, I think that's line item 230. Yes, 230. I don't believe Ms. Lisa Parker was present at that meeting or voted.
Yes, that'll be amended.
Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. And had a question about package page number 10, line item 280. Who is the male speaker? It says male speaker said as a property owner and as an investor. Who is that person?
The stenographer probably couldn't determine who was actually speaking based on the video, so she probably just said male speaker. But I can confirm who that might have been on the video.
All right. Thank you. That's it.
I have some items as well. Okay. Line 290. I believe Member Jefferson was speaking about FIFA, not FOA. So that would be line 290 and 295. And 297 as well.
That's it. Okay.
I have one. Line 337. Line 337. Member Tracy Wise Hill, I'm thankful for Dr. Williams. That should be Dr. Willis, not Dr. Williams.
Is it okay? Is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Motion.
Okay, motion by Councilman Carnes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Julian. Has been moved and properly second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we'll have
All the recognitions.
okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting kind of lost right here with my hands a bit. Okay, now we have a recognition of Councilwoman Dr. Jamel McKenzie for her tenure for the 2025 BIDA Board. And Doctor, could you come to the front? Oh, here it is. And also Lisa Parker, we have a recognition for her, but she's not here tonight. And Councilman Carn, when I believe I want you to come up and present this to her, please. At this time, we pause just to honor service. As chair, it is important that BIDA establish a tradition of formally recognizing those who have served on this authority with distinction, dedication, professionalism, and commitment to the city of College Park. Service on this board requires more than just attendance. It requires preparation, thoughtful deliberation, courage, and decision-making, and a willingness to carry the responsibility of public trust. Tonight, we recognize two women, those who have served and contributed to the legacy of this authority. First, it is my honor to recognize Dr. Jamel McKenzie. Dr. McKenzie brought to this board a strong commitment to community engagement, youth empowerment, business development, and public service. Her leadership as Mayor Pro Tem during 2025 reflected the trust in her by her colleagues, and her service to BIDA during that same year contributed to the continuity and governance of this authority during this pivotal season. Dr. McKenzie, your dedication to College Park is visible, and your service to this board is appreciated. But tonight, before I read your plaque, I want to share something very personal. Over 2 years ago, before you became Councilwoman McKenzie, you reached out to me while we were at a prayer breakfast. And you apologized to me for my removal on this board. I did not expect an apology. I was not seeking one. But what you demonstrated in that moment was growth. You demonstrated humility, and you demonstrated your leadership, and that mattered. My family supported you. We campaigned for you, not because we agreed on everything in the past, but because we believe in moving forward. Growth and forgiveness are powerful forces in leadership. And tonight, we recognize your service and your tenure. As Mayor Pro Tem last year, I want to publicly thank you for all the work that you've done. I gotta take a minute. There's a lot of times I gotta be myself. The mayor, honestly, being on this board, it means a whole lot to me. It meant a whole lot to me then. And one thing I said, I continue to stay my walk when I was not on this board. But that day you walked up to me and you sat down, you held my hand. But you did, and you were sincere in what you were saying to me. And I knew you meant it, and I knew your heart. But what it did, it was a turning point for our community. Because what it did, it mobilized our efforts to make a difference in this community. But I just want to say thank you. It means a lot. Jeff, I appreciate everything that you all have done. And that when you stood in November and you asked about a public apology for me. Now, you didn't have to do that. That never was on my radar. So I just want you all to know that. And I know I'm taking this time to say that. But your heart was right. And that's what God sees. He sees your heart. So I just want to say thank you. But I'm going to read this right now. Clearly College Park presented to Dr. Jamel McKenzie in grateful recognition of your exemplary service on this board in 2025. Your leadership, your vision, and steadfast commitment to responsible governance and economic advancement has strengthened our authority and positioned the City of College Park for continued growth. Your service has left a lasting mark on our mission and our future. Your sincere appreciation for your service and impact. And if you have a few words, ask for preaching. And honestly, I'm sorry, I did not know this young lady could sing until Saturday. We had it was a prayer with Miss Dan, and I didn't know she could sing, but you preached. And I just want to know that Spirit World heard all of that you had to say, so I thank you.
This is the only time I get to boss my husband around, tell him come over and stand with me. Whew. I am so grateful for this recognition tonight. I do not do what I do for recognition. I do it because it's a calling in my life. Everything that I do in the city. Now, I know I was appointed by the council to serve as Mayor Pro Tem last year, and it was quite an honor. And we got a lot of flack for the way that I was the Mayor Pro Tem, because God was leading me to do things the way that I did them, and to bring honor to that particular position. It wasn't about me. When we have things, when you have that opportunity, this is what the Lord said to me. I put you in rooms because I want you to make an impact for me in those rooms. But when I put you at the table, I want to use you to make decisions that will benefit your community and the people that I've sent you to. And that's what my life is about. It's about service. And so when you serve, you don't do it for the pat on the back. You don't do it for your name to be mentioned. And it's it's never been difficult for me to apologize because I understand that I am a work in progress. And I want to thank the community of College Park, the loving community of College Park, the beautiful community, the people of College Park, for entrusting me to do this work. I want to thank you for seeing, hopefully, some of what God sees in me and letting me be in this position. Sabrina brought up, I've apologized to a lot of people, but they haven't accepted the apologies. And I hope that one day, everyone will understand when somebody comes to you and they say they're sorry, they don't have to come and say they're sorry. And I was sorry because I made a decision in ignorance, and I've already discussed that. I'm not going to get into it. But I knew that Sabrina was a good woman, and she still is a good woman, and she will always be a God woman. And I had no idea when I apologized to her 2.5 or 3 years ago that I would stand in that same position and be attacked the way you were attacked. And I understand, and that's why it was important to issue a public apology, because no one should have to go through what some of us endure. But that's why it's a calling. And that being said, I'm so grateful to have this amazing man who is a man of God, a man of purpose, a man of standard, integrity with a capital I, standing by my side. It has not been easy for you. And it took a lot for him to come here, and he spoke to people, and he's been kind because that's what's in him. But he stands with me, and I stand with him. So Jeff, I just want to say thank you. I love you. You're my forever Valentine. When nobody but Jesus has been there, you've been right beside him with me through this race that we're running, because we're running a race, folks. If you're not ready, if your shoes aren't tied, tie your shoestrings. Because what I see going on right now in this world, in this community, in this country, you better have something to hold on to. Because people are turning against each other. People think it's okay to just talk any kind of way about folks. And I have to take this moment because I've been given this moment. If I was put here, I know it's a BIDA meeting, but if I was put here right now, it's to give the message. Because I got to go home with me and Jesus and Jeff. People hear what the chairwoman said. Let's show love. Forgive. Let the animosity and the divisiveness go. You never know if today will be your last day. Somebody's not going to wake up tomorrow morning. What would be the last interaction you had with that person that you could have gotten it right with? I'm not here to be a politician, but I am in politics. I'm here to be a servant. And I'm here to take whatever comes my way because I've been built for this. And I give God the glory. Thank you. Thank you again. This means the heavens to me. And I appreciate you. And I look forward to coming back to BIDA again and serving sometime soon. Have a good one.
could come up, Councilman Carmen. Next, we want to honor Ms. Lisa Parker. Ms. Parker served this board with steady commitment and thoughtful participation. Her presence and engagement in discussions and decisions helped shape the direction of BIDA during her tenure. Service requires time, responsibility, and a willingness to show up. And Ms. Parker, you did just that. Ms. Parker, we thank you for your service, your time, and your contribution to this authority. Service is not measured by agreement on every issue. It is measured by participation, responsibility, and dedication to the work. To both of you, your fingerprints remain part of BIDA's history. On behalf of the City of College Park and the Industrial Development Authority, we extend our sincere appreciation for your service. But, Councilman Carr, would you say?
All right, just real quick, I think Chairman Willis said it all. Ms. Parker served as a textbook example of community commitment, and 4 years of volunteerism on the BIDA board is worthy of recognition. She could not make it tonight, but we want to thank her for her service and sing her praises. Now, unlike Councilwoman McKenzie, y'all don't want to hear me singing, because I can't sing. But thank y'all so much, and I thank y'all on Mrs. Parker's behalf. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now on old business. Consideration of adopting a 2026 joint meeting schedule with the City of College Park by the Assistant Secretary.
Good evening, board members. So we have the joint BIDA meeting schedule. I conferred with the clerk's office, and we decided that about 5 months in, and then another about
Yes.
5.
Excuse me,
Oh,
one
yes.
second. I'm trying to catch, will you ask Ms. Greer, come back for 1 second? Taking a point of privilege for 1 second. I
Yes.
wanted to, Ms. Greer, I apologize for all, but can you just come right here for 1 second? I apologize, because I didn't realize I did this. I'm sorry. I have one more recognition, and it's for Ms. Pamela Greer. As a bridge builder for College Park, that night at our BIDA celebration, I hadn't gotten your award and recognition, but I wanted to read this to you, and I wanted to present this to you in public, and just say thank you for all that you have done for so many years and so many lives that you have touched. And as a breast cancer survivor, how you continue to keep moving forward, doing the good works, and being a part of this community. But it says Bridge Builder Award, honoring Pamela Greer for dedicated service, for your strength that has brought unity to College Park. So I just want to say thank you, that you just so well deserved. I just want to say I appreciate all that you do. Please, if you
I just want to thank everyone, and I would like to work with everyone, not only Jamel, but everyone. Thank everybody.
Again, I apologize, but we got to take the time to make the right decisions and do things, even sometimes when we have to stop. But Hannah, will you go on now?
So yes, I talked to the clerk's office and they said that the May meeting and the October meeting should be joint meetings, but it's all up to the board to see what you all think about it.
Is there a motion?
Could you repeat that, please?
So the joint meetings would be May 13th and also October 14th. But you all can modify it as you like. I just talked to the clerk's office as instructed from, I believe, the January meeting, and they said that those dates would work for the mayor and council.
Just a motion regarding this item. A motion by Mr. Wyatt. Do we have a second?
Second.
To approve? You need,
Yes, second to approve.
Yeah, to approve. Can you read the whole motion to approve the item schedule? The joint meeting. Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Wyatt, second by Mr. Reznor. Any discussion? Please. The one April meeting. But we hadn't gotten to that yet, so we might need to wait.
Yes, that would be in new business under, yeah, it would be new business under G.
Okay.
So, Madam Chair, if you would like to table this motion or move, go ahead and take up item 6G, is it 6H that was added?
6G.
Because you'll be adopting a calendar that is going to be changed later in the meeting. So if you want to go ahead, I think Board Member White is correct. Let's just go ahead and talk about that, and we'll just talk about it in this adoption, and then we won't have to have the discussion under new business. So the April meeting, you want to go ahead?
Okay. Hannah, you'll share that about the April meeting?
Yes.
Because of the budget meeting, so we can go ahead.
So item G was the discussion on BIDA moving the board meeting date to April 7th or April 9th due to the city budget meeting that would be on April 8th. So the original BIDA board meeting date was April 8th, but we would need to move it to either April 7th or April 9th in accordance with the GICC schedule.
Which is the Tuesday before or Thursday?
Yeah,
afterwards.
Tuesday before or the Thursday afterwards.
Do you all have a preference?
Yes. 7? Okay.
The 7th, I'm fine, either one, I'm fine with.
Chair,
Do you have a motion?
I amend my motion to adopt the new 2026 Vital BIDA agenda schedule that reflects the change from 8 to 8 to 8 to 7.
Okay.
So, Madam Chair, I amend my motion to,
Okay, okay.
I have a PowerPoint on my HDMI.
I'm ready.
I amend my motion for the 2026 Vital BIDA agenda schedule as with the change of April the 8th, moving it to April the 7th. And adopt, I motion to adopt it with that change.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. President, a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, next we have a local small business development program presented by Attorney Wiley.
Thank you, Madam Chair, board members. I believe at the November meeting, the motion was made to have staff come back with a proposal concerning a small business or local development incentive program to bring back to you all for consideration. I have, if you will recall, it was in the context of the BIDA Awards, annual awards, allocation of $39,000. And there was a motion made to reallocate that money to some type of program to help local small businesses. And so that's what I want to talk to you all about today. It's in your packet. It was just something, pilot information is for draft and it's for discussion only. Don't anticipate you may having a formal vote on this tonight, but it's something at least to get the conversation started. So the first thing I had to undertake was to determine whether or not you all could even do this pursuant to your constitutional charter. And of course, you have broad authority to promote trade, commerce, industry, and employment opportunities and addressing blighted areas through acquisition, conservation, and rehabilitation. So in my legal estimation, a loan program that is structured as a project financing for eligible capital improvements with enforceable restrictions and repayment terms clearly tied to BIDA's redevelopment purposes is the most dispensable program that I think you all could consider. So it would be a project-based economic development financing tied to development. I think it is constitutional sound. What we cannot do is just to give general cash assistance, such as giving money to pay rent or money to pay for operating expenses. That would be too close to a gratuity, which for those of you who are not familiar with that word, we in the public sector understand the constitutional limitations of how public money can be used, and public money cannot be used. You can't give money, you have to have some public benefit in return. So giving someone cash assistance would be a benefit to that private entity, not necessarily a public benefit that would come back to the city of College Park. So I think we need to just limit what we can do and how we can feasibly determine a good program that would incentivize local developments and help them, but would not run afoul of the Georgia Constitution. So I reviewed publicly available examples where Georgia Development Authority successfully administered loan and incentive programs, and these are just some of them. Of course, we know DCA, they have revolving loan fund programs. I looked at municipal examples, Americans, Douglas, and Athens, that operate their facade and economic development revolving loan programs through their DDAs and their Main Street organizations. And then more regional authorities, like the Development Authority of DeKalb County and the Georgia Cities Foundation, they have successful microloan and revolving fund administration. Invest Atlanta was another example, but they have a larger loan program, and they have connections and partnerships with other institutions. So I did not think they were a good example for what our pilot program or what we were, this board may want to look at. So going through the proposed policy that's in your packet, I believe it's beginning at page 17 of your packet. That's the legal authority, citation of the legal authority to enact such a program, generally empowering this body to promote commerce and eliminate blight through facility financing. The core purpose would be to be project-based economic development financing, not general business assistance. I think that's clear to avoid violating the Georgia Constitution, and is designed to encourage commercial reinvestment and to reduce blight in the city of College Park. And of course, there was $39,000. It's not much probably we can do, but also I believe that even it's a good amount to have this as a pilot program, and that was my suggestion, that you all just adopt this as a pilot initiative to evaluate the demand, your standards, administrative capacity, fiscal impact, and public benefit outcomes before making this a permanent program. The objective would be to encourage reinvestment in commercial properties within College Park, to revitalize the business district, to reduce blight, to address underutilization and deterioration of commercial facilities through targeted improvements, support employment. Obviously, if a business is revitalized and is able to have reinvestment opportunities, then of course the attendant benefit would be employment opportunities, and to leverage the private capital by using public financing to unlock private investment and advance the economic development goals. If someone needed money to repair something in their business and they didn't have enough of the money, then they could apply to this program, and maybe that would be a public-private partnership to allow the commercial business owner or tenant to reinvest into the business. So this is a low interest performance-based forgivable loan. So meaning if the borrower commits to completing all of the public the benefits of revitalizing its business, then they will have satisfied the loan program, and then the loan will be forgiven. So obviously that will require some level of interaction on behalf of BIDA and staff or whomever can be assigned to that. So that's something to be considered. The aggregate cap, I think based upon last year's motion and vote, that has been predetermined to be $39,000. The per borrower cap is something to be established, and obviously a sunset provision that will allow this particular pilot program to end a date certain, and at the end of the sunset period, then we take an assessment and take a look at how it worked, how we can improve, how we could do it better. And these are all proposed. This is not, I'm not a decision maker. My goal was to offer you something to look at and consider within legal confines. However, this is just a proposal. So the eligible applicants, which is subject to change based on this board's determination, small, locally owned businesses operating in College Park, owners of commercial or mixed-use property in College Park, commercial tenants who gained their property owner consent for tenant improvements. The key principle is that all the proceeds must be used solely for eligible capital improvement project that advance BIDA's development mission. So obviously ineligible applicants would be speculative investors, passive entities, any kind of applicant that's in default on city taxes or city obligations, or under the authority of this board that may have had some obligation to this board in the past. And the prohibited uses would be for the money could not be used for payroll, inventory, rent relief, marketing, refinancing, or general operating expense. So these are what I believe to be legally defensible, constitutionally allowable uses that a program such as this could be used towards. Code compliance, bringing, for example, maybe they need to have the ramp needs to be updated. Obviously, there's a public safety and health welfare benefit to having access to a business that allows for disabled individuals to access fixed equipment, facade improvements. That's the most common thing you see with DDAs and the state. They do these facade improvement grants. I believe the city may have such a program already. Any type of construction and rehabilitation costs. So this is examples only. This is just for an example only. The loan amount, the per project, that's just an example. The interest rate will be below market rate, the loan term, the equity contribution, security. So what do we want to secure in this particular, how do we secure the collateral? Someone is coming and asking for $2,500 to install a new water heater. I'm not certain if that's an amount. Then obviously we can do get some type of interest in that equipment. But once it gets installed, once it's up and operating, they provide that confirmation to this board, and then the loan can be forgiven, or forgiven probably is not the better term, but the public benefit will have been satisfied at that point, and we will have adhere to our obligation to avoid a gratuity. We're not going to run credit checks, as my advice. We're not going to run consumer credit reports. Federal law governs what you have to do, your responsibilities when you're pulling a credit report on someone, and we definitely are not in the business of wanting to have that information and inadvertently violating the Fair Debt Credit Reporting Act, which has all types of reporting obligations and limitations on who can see it, and notification to the parties when they're denied a loan. We're not in the business of running consumer credit reports, so I do not recommend that. So you all get to decide what the project-based criteria would be, what the project feasibility and readiness, the adequacy. All of this would be something that would be for this board to decide and discuss. And there are different types of interests that you can have in order to protect the loans. Real property security, I don't think we're going to have loans that will require in such an amount that we would take a lien on anyone's property, but certainly any type of loan, any type of interest or collateralization of the loan would be recommended. And of course, again, when the borrower satisfies those criteria, then they will have, the city will have benefited, BIDA will have been benefited, and the loan criteria will have been satisfied. Those collateral interests will be released. So again, you can see this performance-based forgiveness structure, and you can see here at the bottom, complete the improvements when they finish and they do perform their conditions, they complete it. Then they have reduced blight or underutilization of commercial property, and then those forgiveness will be, the forgiveness safeguards have been satisfied, and this will ensure accountability and protects the public investment, and we will have remediated blight. We will have encouraged development and reinvestment in the city. Okay? So this is just something for you all to consider how the application review and approval process will go. This is all subject to further discussion and approval, and all these actions will be documented in the authority's records to ensure transparency and accountability throughout the process. Default is something we definitely don't want to happen, so, but any of these events, if they fail to complete the project, if they fail to satisfy the performance conditions that are included within each loan given, then we can have available remedies allowed by law. The forgiveness immediately ceases, and the unforgiven balances become due and payable, and we can recapture any amounts if you got a loan to do something to remedy blight or to do something that was specifically conditioned upon the money being provided to you. You fail to do it, then it's called clawback. We get the money back. So obviously, this will require, and again, for board discussion, record keeping, we have to maintain constitutional compliance, and, let the board review the program prior to pilot expiration. You can discontinue it, modify it, or expand it by board resolution with documented findings on how this works. It just represents a carefully structured, legally defensible approach to supporting commercial redevelopment in College Park while protecting public investment and ensuring constitutional compliance. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Attorney Wiley. Do we have any discussion? Mayor Martin?
Ms. Wiley, thank you so much for that analysis. I appreciate it. We had the discussion last fall, and I appreciate you following through on this. So if we've got $39,000, it would seem prudent to me that we take that in perhaps 6 $5,000 increments and then leave the remainder for administrative overhead that may arise from this program. Since it is a pilot program, we're not exactly sure how much we'll need. Obviously, you'll need to do some more work to make it come together. But I think this is a concrete step in the right direction to ensure that the businesses within our community see BIDA working for them and have the opportunity to know that our presence isn't just about buying and selling land. It really is enriching and supporting the thriving business community that we have and ensuring that it grows. So I'm really excited about it, and I hope that we can carry the momentum forward and get the program adopted. But thank you so much for your work on this.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, so
if you all want to give some further direction consistent with what the mayor said, do you all want me to continue working? How do you want to do this? Do you want to have committees? How do you all want to go about shoring this program up? That's my question to the board, and I'll take my seat.
Madam Chair, if there's a committee, I'm happy to be a part of it.
Okay.
No, I'm just on a committee. But
okay,
I want to talk about the $39,000. So does BIDA have it in this account now?
That was what was earmarked. I'm sorry. That was what was earmarked for the
BIDA celebration.
The BIDA celebration, and so the board made the decision.
I understand. I guess my question is BIDA in possession of that money? Because if not, then...
Yes, they're saying this.
Okay.
It's in the BIDA account.
So, we have direction for the board to move forward, or?
Well, I mean, it sounds great.
For her to continue.
Yeah, keep going. Yes.
Okay, you have your marching.
Okay, I'll keep going.
Thank you. Next, we'll have consideration of adopting a proposed job description for BIDA Executive Director.
Just stay right there.
Dr. Williams.
So following up on the board's directive from last meeting, the January meeting, I created a job description for your consideration and edit and revision to the extent necessary of an executive director job summary and what the requirements are. So this really is up now for board discussion. I've heard, I think one of the board members asked me to change senior level compensation to mid-level compensation. That was one of the comments, the only comment I received, and I am open to hearing this board discuss this matter further.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I don't know who that member was, but I certainly agree with him. I think if we could change it, we can't afford to pay an executive director, but we pay somebody like a city manager, so I think mid-level definitely is more appropriate. That's the only
Okay.
change I see.
And that will be on page 30, board members, under the whereas, says senior municipal executives, will be mid-level municipal executives. And then on the corresponding job description as well.
Madam Chair, I think I struggle with the mid-level language. I understand the concerns about senior municipal executives, but perhaps it's commensurate with the market.
Okay.
Because certainly.
No objection from me.
Yeah.
It says that somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
I understand that there may be, that.
That's,
Madam Chair,
I accept that.
Yes, Mr. Hicks.
could I ask a question? How's this position going to be funded? How's it funded?
Right now. All right, board members.
Are you all
Right
going
now,
to
yes,
sell
ma'am.
some property to fund it? How's it going to be funded?
Well, I know right now we do have some funding from the Queen's Park that we have not used.
So I think this is something that
So we
we,
want to get some type of understanding.
I think it will be something that we want to talk about at your March 11th meeting with the city manager about BIDA's budget. Is that something we want to talk about at the March 11th meeting?
Yes, because this is more just discussion.
Well, what I'm hoping this year is that we sell some land so BIDA can fund whatever it is they want to do. That doesn't mean that if we sell land, BIDA gets all of the land proceeds. We still have to, pay off our power department, in terms of funds as well. But, let's get some stuff sold so we'll have a need for an economic person here and get things moving. I mean, I'm certainly not opposed to it, but it'll be interesting to see the relationship between the city's economic development director and BIDA's position. So I think we could probably work on that language together to make sure we have a bridge, make sure we have some complete collaboration between BIDA's person and the city's economic development.
Okay.
Madam Chair, so what this resolution would do, that's before you, it would create that position of Executive Director for BIDA with funding to be determined. And the changes would be changing the salary reference to the language that the mayor used of commensurate with market rate compensation. And so with those changes, so that would be the resolution that's before you for approval.
So we're going to wait until about March. Is this something we need to vote on tonight?
You can vote on this tonight if that's your will, or wait. It's up to this body.
What's the will of the body?
It's on the agenda, if nobody's objected, I don't care. I don't care one way or another, but it's on the agenda, we'll vote it, we'll figure out funding. So I motion for approval with the changes the mayor and whoever, Councilman Carn, I certainly agree with his comments, so. You just need a motion for approval, doesn't you, Julie?
Yes, the resolution. We want to go forward. So we have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Okay, second by Dr. Williams. Any discussion?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I mean, just because we've approved the resolution doesn't mean we're putting out a job posting.
No.
Right. All right. That's what I thought.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed?
One opposed. Motion passes. Next, we have discussion of regarding BIDA's 2026 BIDA budget. Mr. Hicks.
So, Madam Chair, what the board should have in front of them is really a sample. Should have a transaction report. So your meeting with the city manager is on, look at my dates, get it right, March the 11th, between 10 and 12. And you also have the final meeting that you go before mayor and council on April 8th. So, I'm talking to my team, Hannah and Hockey's. How many transaction reports did you guys give out? Did you give it to the whole board? Okay. So what I'm asking you guys to do is just, if you have any questions, Madam Chair, give me a call. Let's get ready for the March 8th meeting, March 11th meeting.
March 11th.
Prepare for that.
And what's the time?
Between 10 and 12. You and I had some previous discussions about how the budget works, so let me know who's going to be coming to that meeting with you, and we can have a Teams meeting. I can answer all the questions, because you're going to have a worksheet, you're going to have a performance report, and a transaction. So we can talk about that in depth when you let me know how many of your team is going to be coming to the March meeting with you.
Okay. Who I would want to? Hold on.
Let me check, I want to check the date.
Yeah.
So board members, we have, Madam Chair,
March 11th.
so we have to be careful about not having a quorum for any internal meeting that you have with the city manager. This forum tonight is public, so if anyone has any questions, concerns, or about any of the line items that you want to provide to the chair or whomever is going to attend the meeting, I think this will be a good time to do so, or to provide that information to her before March 11th so that this body's voice can be heard in the process. Or you can do this tonight, whatever your pleasure.
We want to do that tonight.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let you know before
Yes, ma'am.
March 11th.
Yeah, if I can make a recommendation that you all take a look at it and then get the question to the chair.
Yes.
Then the chair can come back to me and my team. We'll ask them for it.
Okay. And what I'm hearing from the board members that the vice the Vice Mayor Joe Karn and Secretary Treasurer Julian Wisenover would like to attend along with the chair. So we're limited to 3 board members without having a quorum. Madam Chair. Or you can have 2 separate meetings, however you want to do it. Just can't have more than 3 in any one meeting.
So if Julian Chase can make it, I definitely like to be in that as well. I got a little history I may be able to.
If somebody else wants to attend, I guess I'll take a back seat since you're down. Two folks love the
So I like to.
Okay, so we have Mr. Resanover and Mr. White attend the meeting.
Roger that. Thank you.
The budget meeting.
So just for clarity, that's Monday, March the 11th. Oh, wait a minute, hold on.
No, March 11th is on a
I'm
Wednesday.
looking at May, I'm sorry, I'm looking at May. Wednesday, March the 11th.
Between 10 and 12. Yes, sir.
10 a.m. 12.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Next, we have the 6 West appraisal discussion.
I think there was one before that, the Keller Williams.
That's not a start.
I'm sorry.
Okay, there's been a lot of discussion over social media about the Keller Williams and where we are for as BIDA. I want city manager, if you could, maybe get some information to us about the outstanding monies, from the Keller Williams and what we need to do. because it's a lot of talk right now. And trying to find out what's going on. Because we know nothing as a board, so.
Also, the city manager, you know, I guess the direction we're trying to move in, I guess, and I think it was a consensus, I think pretty much everywhere, is to find out what happened to our funds and get our funds back. So that's what I'm looking for. So let's just move towards making that happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Roger that. I have my marching orders.
Okay,
Thank
you'll get marching orders. Okay, thank you. Next, we have the appraisal. And we have, Hannah, can you pass these out? No, Tristan, can you come pass? No, other Hannah. Hannah, you pass these out. The city, does everyone have one?
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, the
All right.
city is asking.
Well,
to,
essentially,
give consent.
so what we're looking at right now is a map of 6 West, a portion of 6 West. Over the past few years, we've been trying to get this property on the market and hopefully get it sold and get to some development along the entirety of the 6 West development. As you all know, we have the residential portion under contract and are moving towards coming out of the ground there. The biggest difficulty we had was that there was a lot of 6 West, a particular section that remained the checkerboard with unresolved title issues, with folks that may or may not be willing to sell at all. So we reconfigured a large portion of 6 West that's relatively unencumbered, with the exception of 1 or 2 small parcels, which may make it more marketable and easier to navigate through to a closing. So essentially, this is a map of a practical portion of 6 West that could probably be marketed and more easily sold. Obviously, this is a BIDA property, and we need BIDA permission to move forward with an appraisal. However, last year, the city did agree to pay for that appraisal and cover that cost. So I wanted a consensus from the board that we can move forward and hopefully get this on the market.
We used to do something called, I'm sorry, Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr.
So
Wyatt.
we used to do something called a broker, whatever that little thing is, but if the money's already approved, then I would support, I think we should know what, I don't know, anybody who sells stuff don't know the value of it. So I'm going to support the appraisal.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I'm a little unclear as to who the "we" was in carving this out. Mayor Pro Tem said that we carved it out. Who was "we"?
Because it wasn't this board.
No, this wasn't this board. This is something I took a look at. Obviously, this portion is in Ward 2. And from the experiences we had before, I was looking for a big enough size of portion of this property that could be easier sold, again, with less title issues and private property issues. So this is kind of working with GIS. This is what I kind of came up with. And I think this may be a little more marketable because it's a whole lot less houses to deal with. So it was carved out for that reason. And Mayor, it was also carved out for other reasons, which I'm sure you would probably be familiar with as well. But this provides less fuss and less muss for, I think, for everybody.
So it was you. Was there a group of people or was it you? I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand where this came from.
Mayor, I already answered you, and I told you exactly where it came from. Here's
So
my
there,
thing.
Madam Chair, was there not a? There
Mayor,
wasn't,
please don't interrupt me. I was speaking.
Councilman Carter speaking.
Bottom line, this year, what I'd like to do is see BIDA sell as much land as possible. That's what I'd really like to see. So I'm looking forward to us getting good offers on everything and moving forward and getting this land and the rest of these properties back on the tax rolls.
so this was a map that you created, Councilmember?
Already answered 3 times. On the rest of it.
Okay, so anybody else? I've had you 2 times.
I am clear this was created by Councilmember Carter. Thank you.
So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Did you make a motion? Did you make a motion? Oh, let's make did anybody make a motion? That's what I said. Do I have a motion?
Second.
So we have a motion by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Wyatt. Any discussion?
Madam Chair?
Yes,
Who's selecting the appraiser?
is there?
Well, the appraiser was selected last year, I think. We put out an RFP for it, and we got to an appraiser. It came to the mayor and council, and we voted to get it appraised.
Can you turn your mic? Yeah, it's on.
Yes, sir. And I believe it's CBRE that we're looking to do the appraisal.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I think if we can have just some clarification on the motion for the record. I believe if the movement would be amenable and the seconder would be amenable to revising the motion in a second. The motion is to authorize the city to move forward with having an appraisal on the 6 West property reflected, I guess it's in the orange or peach hashtag on this.
No, the
red area. Oh, the entire red line area on this map that will be added to the record. Hannah, if you could make sure this map is attached to the minutes, and that will be BIDA consenting to allow the city to move forward with the appraisal, I guess with CBRE, Mr.
Right. I'm simply asking BIDA permission for us to move forward with getting this land appraised. Once it is appraised, it will come back to BIDA, and it's up to this body to put it on the market and see if we get bites on it, get interest. And at the end of the day, it's up to BIDA to select who we decide to sell it to.
Okay, Councilman, so.
It's 171.28.
So the motion, I'm seconding the motion. What I'm seconding is just to give the city permission to appraise the property, right?
That's reflected on, yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
All right, that's my second statement. I didn't consider this out with appraisal.
Have discussion.
Ms. Jefferson.
So my only concern with the site mapping, this is not the mapping that was originally approved by Fulton County. we're right now have a discretion against the site mapping that PMG wants to submit versus what has already been approved by Fulton County. So you just can't create an arbitrarily mapping. Now, when you do an appraisal, that appraiser is going to go off of base of the old site mapping that's approved by Fulton County. That's clearly different from what is on this mapping. So I would suggest that you align the mapping with planning so that planning can get the mapping corrected by Fulton County, because that appraiser is not going to base it off of this mapping. They're going to base it off of what was originally submitted by the engineering firm that did the original site map.
Well, that's not true at all. An appraiser will appraise a piece of property that you own in any manner you want it appraised, whether it's half of that property or a portion of or whatever have you. The other thing is that the PMG residential portion is not involved in this appraisal at all.
That's incorrect. That may apply to residential, but when it comes to commercial, commercial has to go based upon the zoning, based upon what was originally approved in the site plan mapping. So what we need to make sure is when they do that appraisal on these remaining parcels, if that site mapping, like I said, is changed from what is originally approved by Fulton County that they have, your appraisal is going to be totally undervalued because you already have it approved by the planning and the zoning from Fulton County. So I don't know, when a commercial property is appraised, it's totally appraised differently. It's appraised based on the project and based upon the land that is currently zoned as.
Madam Chair, if I may offer maybe a little insight. An appraiser, part of what is happening tonight is a part of the appraiser's obligation to have the consent of the owner to appraise the property. So for any property that is not owned by BIDA, the appraiser could not and would not seek to appraise that land in the absence of the consent of the owner. Appraisers have ethical standards and obligations, and I've read hundreds of appraisal reports. It always begins with who the owner of the property is, and the second thing it does is they list the tax parcel identification numbers. The tax parcel identification number is the social security number for a piece of property. And so I'm assuming the CBRE, they're going to do that. And they're not going to rely totally on the map here per se. Whatever the tax parcel ID number says for the property that's being appraised, and the ownership aligns with BIDA, who is now giving consent to the city to do this appraiser, that would be sufficient for the property to be appraised.
Madam Chair.
Point of order, Madam Chair. Under the new guidelines, we can only speak twice on an issue for 3 minutes. So I'm gonna call for the question unless someone who hasn't spoken twice has something to say.
It's in reference to the motion. What I'm asking is, the motion is based upon this information being submitted. So if you're submitting the motion for the appraisal to be based upon this mapping, you need to segment that. You need to state that it's just an appraisal based upon what currently has, but you passed out this mapping, so you're making this in conjunction with the appraisal, and that's what needs to be adjusted.
If I need to make the motion clear, I'll make the motion clear. I'm asking permission for BIDA to okay getting this property on this map within the red lines appraised. That's owned by BIDA.
My second to your motion stands.
No, any more discussion? Any more? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Can I get a raise of hands? We have 5 move forward. Any opposed? Opposed. 1 opposed.
Opposed.
2 opposed. Dr. Williams, Board Member Jefferson. Motion passes. Next item is a discussion regarding adopting a public communication policy. This item is being brought forward due to recent media outreach and public communication involving BIDA matters. The purpose of this discussion is not to restrict speech, but to reconsider whether a policy would help ensure clarity, consistency, accuracy, and how information about the authority is communicated. This is a discussion on
Discussion and possible approval by this body. We actually, Madam Chair, board members, this actually was drafted last year following an incident where there were some alleged quotes from myself, allegedly, that were never made, and some a former BIDA the executive director in the news media. So, you know, when I saw that, I thought we need a policy as to who and when can speak on behalf of BIDA. As your lawyer, I don't speak to the media unless y'all direct me to say something explicitly. I have been getting calls from media for comments, which I do not make and will not give. But I do think there should be some decorum and process for who should receive that initial contact and be the spokesperson if a comment is to be made. So what this does is this policy, which you all, again, is for your consideration only. It just, on page 49 of the packet, it just says that anytime a media inquiry is received by a board member, employee, or contractor of BIDA, that shall be immediately forwarded to the chair or the chair's designee. No public comment shall be made prior to review and coordination with the chair and, where appropriate, by his general counsel. Written or recorded statements must be approved by the chair or the chair's designee with contemporaneous notification to the board. Inquiries regarding pending negotiations, contracts, personnel matters, or litigation shall be directed to the chair and general counsel and shall not be discussed publicly. Obviously, everybody in this room has First Amendment rights, and serving on this body does not deprive you of your First Amendment right to speak as a citizen. However, when someone is speaking on behalf of the board in the capacity of a board member, I do think there should be some processes in place to ensure that the messaging is something that won't be a surprise to other board members. So this is just open for discussion, tabling, or approval by this body, or rejecting altogether.
I was kind of surprised, Madam Chair, that we didn't have something like this already in place. So I'm certainly in support of it.
Yes, I'm also in support of it. And I'm actually, after reading through it, have a perfect person for that public information officer role. I think that should be you, Attorney Wiles. I really do, because there are questions that the media may ask that a legal ear hears and understands, as opposed to one of us saying something. That wouldn't happen, that shouldn't happen. So, like Mr. White, I'm in total support of this, and it's my understanding, or it's my sentiment that we should adopt this. This cuts through or cuts down on some of the drama in terms of miscommunication to the media. One person, or speaking on behalf of this board to any media communication outlet.
So I think if you will take a look at the bottom of package, your page 48, it designates it has some suggested designees of who shall serve as the authorized spokespersons and what their limitations are. Board Member Riesenover, and so that's just up, and on page 49, it says that by the council may provide legal or procedural clarifications solely upon approval of the chair and within the bounds of the attorney-client confidentiality. I do not like speaking to the media, and as your attorney, I would not speak to the media. I would take something, any information requests, outreach I have, I would turn it back over to the chair and the board members for direction.
So by law, do we have to speak to them on spot in that, in terms of, shouldn't they go through the process of obtaining open records if they want that information or any information about this board?
So open records, the media can obtain or seek to obtain open records, and subject to any limitations by the law or exceptions, they can be provided public records. However, the Open Records Act does not mean you have to answer questions. So what normally happens is there's a request for records along with a question for verbal answers. The law does not require a public entity to give public answers to a media inquiry. Now, obviously, it may be good practice or policy to do so on a matter that needs clarification or something this body believes should be deserving of some kind of response, whether it be a joint response, a media response, something that you all have tailored and authorized. But I would venture to say that it would be unwise for anybody in their capacity as a board member to offer a media verbal response, just because it can easily be misinterpreted, it can easily be used against you. All manner of things can happen. And obviously, the media has the right, First Amendment right, to make queries. How and whether and to what extent this body responds to them is a matter of policy that I do think y'all should discuss and adopt.
Madam Chair.
Yes,
Thank you. Just one thing I will say. We have to be very careful about dealing with the media or talking to the media at all. Yes, I understand with the media open records request, that's a process that they can go through to obtain information. But over the years, you know what I've learned? In terms of the media, you know what's even better for them than getting an open records request? That's oftentimes going to be catching one of these BIDA board members right outside of that door on the spot and get them to talking. We definitely, if we're going to move forward and make progress, as they say, loose lips sink ships. So we definitely, I would advise everybody to avoid the media as much as possible in terms of dealing with, what we're doing. We want to be open, we want to be transparent, but at the same time, a lot of times, the media has a way of talking you into saying something that you cannot talk your way out of. So let's be careful. This does say the chair or chair designee. At the end of the day, the chair is the chair. And if she designates by the attorney, so be it, or whatever have you. But I think before anybody says anything, I think they need to consult with the body attorney. And this is not like the council and mayor situation. The mayor is not the official spokesperson for the city of College Park. But in terms of BIDA, at the end of the day, I think they're going to be looking at the chair. Okay. But I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, Board Member Jefferson.
So my issue with this policy is there's a conflict. When you mention here OCGA 50-18-70, you're pertaining it to open records requests. However, if any documents are public, there doesn't have to be an open records request. So you cannot limit anyone making a statement to the media if information has been disclosed publicly. So I think that needs to be clarified. If you're going to include OCGA 50-18-70, you need to include what the Georgia Open Meetings Act for that full ordinance is inside the policy.
So if you look at packet page 49, paragraph 7, I included the Open Records Act to make clear that nothing in this policy is intended to interfere with the Open Records Act, and that those any open records requests made shall be promptly answered as required by law. So that's only in here just to say that this is distinguishing this policy to verbal communications, not document requests, to which the law, Georgia law, expressly allows and requires us to provide unless an exception exists. And so it's just in here just as a reaffirmation and not as a limitation on the right of anyone, media, John Doe citizen, anyone, to receive public records upon request.
So I think that information that you just expounded on needs to be included because it's a conflict the way it's written currently. It may be inferred on that page, but what you just said is totally different from what is on the beginning of the policy.
So page 49, paragraph 7 says, this communications policy does not alter or supersede any legal obligation under the Open Records Act. Request, so.
Madam Chair, with that, I call for a motion to move forward.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor by raising hands?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Opposed.
One opposed. Board Member Jefferson. Motion passes.
Pardon me, Madam Chair, who made that motion?
Calhoun.
Councilman Carn made the motion, Mayor Pro Tem Carn.
Thank you, so noted.
Okay, thank you. Next is a discussion regarding forming a committee to review BIDA's administrative SOPs and bylaws. This item will be introduced by Vice Chair Dr. Williams. This discussion is about review and recommendation, not approving changes. The goal is to determine whether a committee should look at streamlining, updating this document and bringing recommendations back to the full board. Do we have any discussions?
You already said it. You said it.
We good,
You said
okay,
it all,
all
so
right.
What was that?
discuss.
We're going into discussion.
We'll have to make a motion, second for discussion.
We have a motion.
To discuss. Correct?
The motion to place it on the table will be seconded, and then there will be discussion. After the motion has been made and seconded, the floor will be open for discussion. If
So moved.
I second.
Yeah, second by Mr. Reznor. Any more discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in total agreement to that as I was reading through this. These bylaws are 21 years old. And there are some things in there that I think need to be changed and added. And I'll leave that at that. So I'm in support of the review of the bylaws, any additions or deletions. I think they need to be updated.
Okay.
So, Mr. Reasonau,
Yes.
would you be interested in being part of the committee?
How did I knew that was coming next? Yes, ma'am.
I do believe the committee cannot be more than 3. So 2 to 3 individuals. If anyone else is interested, please let us know so that, as Mr. Reasonover said, we can take a look at the bylaws especially, and then bring our recommendations back to the board.
Okay, I'd like to be on the committee. Let me make sure.
Madam Chair.
Yes,
So,
Mr. Reznor.
Dr. Williams, what would that meeting schedule look like?
Unknown at this point,
Okay.
but we could do it virtually. We don't have to meet in person.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All in favor? By raising hands. Any opposed?
Opposed.
Unopposed? Board Member Jefferson. Motion passes.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I would like to be on that committee.
Okay. It doesn't feel though.
it can be as many as you like.
Okay, okay. That's fine.
Maximum of 3.
So under Georgia law, when you create a special committee, that committee is subject to the Open Meetings Act. So you all can meet virtually, but we'll have to advertise and publish it. So transparency, and you all can discuss it. You won't have to necessarily come and meet in person unless you want to, and we can say where you want to meet, or you can meet, the committee can meet virtually or in person. It doesn't have to be at the GICC, and so it'll be up to the committee. And so as I understand it, Madam Chair, the motion to create the committee did not specifically name any individuals, and so if we want to go ahead and make a second motion to name the members of that committee, I think that would be appropriate. So as I understand it was,
Well, Madam Chair, I'm not so, in terms of naming the members, I don't care about that. I'd like to be a member, but I don't think this committee should be more than 3, because people will interpret that and manipulate that into a backdoor BIDA meeting and a backdoor BIDA group, in a sense, having a backdoor meeting.
and they would be wrong, Mayor Pro Tem. I understand, but they would be legally wrong to do that. But
You're correct, but perception sometimes trumps the reality.
So,
And that would be my suggestion, that it not be.
Councilman Carr, so the meeting will be public, so the constituency group, I think this is such a big task. I would like to see anybody who want to be on it, which would be you, the chair, the vice chair, and Julie. I think that's a good combination, if you'll be amenable to that.
Well, I ain't gonna fall on the sword over it. But-
Okay, so then Madam Chair, I make a motion that the chair, the vice chair, the mayor pro tem, and the mayor pro tem appointee from Ward 2 be nominated to serve on this committee.
Do you have a second?
All right, I second it. And we should public meetings, open meetings.
yes, public meetings. You can meet in a conference room at City Hall, as long as it's published and it's noticed. It doesn't have to be on we don't have to incur expenses related to videotaping. Just, and we'll have minutes. Just like sort of, I'm sure the Charter Commission kind of works in that manner.
All right.
Okay. Now vote. Okay, I'm sorry. Mayor.
Would we have legal representation in each meeting?
I'm happy to attend, Mayor.
Okay. All in favor? Raise your hands. Aye. Bylaws, yes. Okay. Any opposed? Opposed. One opposed, Ms. Board Member Jefferson. Motion passes. Next, we'll have our GICC arena and golf course update. Ms. True. Oh, Ms. True, I'm sorry. Oh, we got to do one more. I apologize. Yeah.
Something about art, I don't care who it was.
Hold on, page. Yeah, page 8 in the back.
Okay. Consideration of establishing a designated BIDA bank account under city custodianship by BIDA Vice Chair Dr. Williams. Sorry, this is not part.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the creation of a BIDA designated bank account with Georgia Fund 1, a state-controlled financial institution, and to authorize the BIDA chair, the city finance director, and secretary treasurer of BIDA to execute all documents to establish such an account, and to authorize the city finance director to be the custodian of said account.
Do we have a second?
Second.
A second by,
Discussion.
wait a minute. Got a second by Mr. Wyatt. Any discussion?
So Madam Chair.
Mr. Hicks.
I mean, I think, as the city manager, maybe I should have gotten some background information on this before you tried to establish this account, particularly when we're talking about the finance director who reports to the city manager being a custodian of this account. I would have liked to have some history on this before you guys call for the vote.
Well, Madam Chair, the finance director is already custodian of the BIDA funds already. So this is not,
Right.
it would just be a different name of the account, but the finance director is already doing this new.
Sure. But what I got my cybersecurity hat on. I'm thinking about the safeguards and security around this account. Wanted to have some discussion.
Okay.
City manager, well, I was the one that had discussion actually. But, I hear where you're coming from, obviously. But it being under city custodianship, I think prevents you from having any issues of any monkey business going on. In other words, nothing to be coming out of that account without the finance director knowing about it, thereby you knowing about it, obviously. And I'm not against BIDA having its own bank account. What I wanted to add to the motion was that I wanted us to make an effort to bank with an African-American owned bank, if possible, for these BIDA funds. I think that would be a good thing to do. So I'd like to add that to the motion, if no one has any objection there. Or at least seek to bank with an African-American owned bank.
Okay. Board Member Jefferson.
He amended his motion, so you're going to do a second? He amended it. Did anyone amend their motion?
Not yet. Oops, not yet. We're still in discussion, so I think if there may be some other revision or something, so I think we're still in discussion.
Okay, so my only concern is that, who's going to be the signer on this account? Because I just think that with the egregious acts that have been done by Keller Williams, and the city being out of that money, and the city being out of the previous Tracy Wyatt Center, $300,000 is a lot of missing money. So who will be,
Madam Chair.
who will be the signer of the account?
We're not calling that.
Who will be the signer of the account if our bylaws restricts the director of finance for City of College Park to be our financial custodian and who reports to the city manager? Then we need to understand who's going to be the signer on this account and who's going to have access for deposits and withdrawals on the account.
I've got a suggestion.
Okay, Mr. Carr.
And I hear you loud and clear. We want to make sure things are, as clean as the Board of Health dealing with BIDA. And we have not had any serious issues in terms of this board. There hasn't been, I haven't seen any wrongdoing by this board. We've had the issue with Keller Williams. In terms of the bank account itself, I'm the treasurer of my church, as I've been for the last 15 years in a row. And it requires 2 signatures for every check that goes out. Mine and the director, the finance director. In this instance, I would suggest, and this is just my suggestion, that it be a dual signature of the BIDA chair and the city manager, or the city manager's designee, which would be the finance director. I feel more comfortable with the BIDA chair and the city manager, though.
Okay. You make the motion.
I was there some. I think the motion would need to be amended to account for some. I think it was different.
And African-American owned bank.
In Georgia Fund 1. Madam Mayor.
Question.
Okay. Mr. Hicks.
So could we table this until we have a little more discussion about the safeguards and security and who's going to be signing? Can we do that? Then I can bring my team in and meet with you, Madam Chair, and your designee. Let's talk about what this account would look like. And then we can bring it back and we can bracket it.
Well, I'm confused. They got hundreds of accounts up there. I'm confused. This account ain't special. This account is be governed like every other account. So I'm not sure we're trying to single this out. When the finance director handles hundreds of accounts already, handle the same way. So I'm confused about that, but I'll yield to it.
But I'll go with I'll go with the motion, desire of the board, we did here, but, call for the vote, all in favor? Do I have to amend? Got to amend it.
Can we restate?
Okay, how about this? I'd like to make a modification here. I hear, City Manager, I hear your concerns, absolutely, and they're legitimate concerns. I hear the other side as well. This is a bank account, and we have 46 accounts, Bank of America. But at the end of the day, you know, the buck stops in pretty much one place, more or less. Why don't we do this? Let's vote that BIDA wants to establish a bank account. Let's vote there who the signatories are going to be. The chair and the city manager discuss that and work it out from there. How about that? That way we know our intent is to establish a bank account, but per the city manager's feeling comfortable with putting the safeguards in place and the guardrails that we need up.
Well, could I?
Okay, so,
Hold on. I'd like to keep my motion as is and add in the signatories. But I don't want to change it to include a particular type of bank. I want to keep it as is and add who the signees are to the motion. And so the signees, based on the discussion, would be the chair and the city manager. So I'm going to add that to the motion. Motion to approve the creation of a BIDA designated bank account with Georgia Fund 1, a state-controlled financial institution, and to authorize the BIDA chair, city finance director, secretary treasurer of BIDA to execute all documents that establish such account, and to authorize the city finance director to be the custodian of said account, with signatories being the city manager and the BIDA chair.
So,
second.
I'm in the second,
Yes, I'm in my second.
Remember, this is just a discussion. It's just a discussion.
Okay, well, this is a discussion, or are we establishing the bank account?
no, how about just discussion?
You know what, because I'm confused now. If it's just discussion, then there's no need for a vote. So it's got to be more than a discussion.
Okay, it's more than a discussion. Let's move on.
It's a vote. Did you update your second?
Yeah.
You updated your second. Any more discussion?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not quite clear on that motion again. This is just a motion to establish the bank account.
Okay.
And if there's further discussion to be had, we'll have that another time. Is that correct? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we got Mr. Hicks.
I was going to say, Madam Chair, since it's going to be me as the custodian, the finance director reports to the city manager, should I feel comfortable about the guidelines, how this is going to be established, the security measures around the account needs to be talked about and established before we.
Okay, I think the motion includes further discussion. So yes, I agree with you. I think you, that city manager, I'm 100% with you. But the motion includes further discussion.
Further discussion. All right, Mayor.
Madam Chair, I think we need to hammer out some more details on this. So if we bring it back at another meeting with it fully fleshed out, I think that's a different story, but at this point, I'm ready to vote no on it.
Okay, all in favor, raise your hands. We have 4. Any opposed?
Opposed?
Opposed. We have 3 opposed. Motion passes. Next. Yes.
Next would be Dr. Williams' item Dr. Williams' item.
Oh, yeah.
On the arts. Discussion on how BIDA can contribute more to the arts in the city of College Park.
Yes, so I'm aware that there is a community theater here in College Park. And I'm not sure if it's under Push Push Arts, but there's also Push Push Arts. And a lot of times we talk about the restaurants, but we don't talk about the other businesses. And I wanted to have a discussion on how BIDA can assist in promoting the arts in College Park. Give them some recognition, whether we're promoting it outside of the city or within the city, but to give them some momentum. And I wanted to talk to the board to see what your thoughts are on that and how we can push this forward.
Any discussion? I think it's great, for the arts, but also, College Park, we have a cultural arts department also, so maybe it can be some opportunities for BIDA to, work with cultural arts also. Okay. Next, we have updates. Giannis with the GICC Arena and historic golf course.
Thank you, Madam Chair. January events wasn't as bright as we would like for it to be due to the fact that we had 2 weekends of weather, so the numbers are just a little bit low. For GICC, there's only $480,000 that we brought in for the month. The expense was $426,000. For the arena, for the month was $104,000. The expense was $245,000. That's due to the insurance that was paid out of that month that bled over from December. The golf course was $15,000, and the expense was $50,000 due to the greens. So we didn't have the robust month that we should have, but all the groups that we've lost during the weather, we have rebooked those between the end of March and April.
Okay, good. Thank you. Before we do the update with the Price Barbershop, I just wanted, we had some bridge builders in the building, and they had some things that they wanted to share with the board. So did you all want to pass those out while we get ready to listen for the updates for Price Barbershop? Naya, you all had some items you wanted to pass out. Thank you. You just be passing them out while we're getting ready. Next, we have the...
I just wanted to remind the board about the retreat. I sent out some dates. So if you just let me know which dates you prefer.
Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna, no, we got that. We're gonna do the price. I just wanted them to go ahead and pass those things out because we'll be trying to move things along. Just finished. Thank you, Giannis. Next, we'll have the Price Barbershop renovations and other vital properties by Clearly College Park Program Manager.
Good evening, everyone, by the board, members of the public. Today is an update about the Price Barbershop from our November presentation. Just a reminder, the Price Barbershop is an adaptive reuse project. Its intended goal is to be a self-guided museum, African-American museum with a community space and offices. So last time we spoke on this, we did our stabilization. We did a lot of cleaning out of debris, tree removals of any dead trees that may also affect the property in the future. And now we are currently in our completing our permitting phase. What that basically means is we're getting ready to do work on the physical aspects of the building. And so to do that, we have to also go through our EPA regulations, which is abatement, you see on there, as well as our city approvals. And so what you see before you is our demolition permit, which actually got approved today, our abatement, which is currently in approval phases for next week, and our quality assurance plan, which has been approved. We've also secured our historic preservation recognition by DCA, and we're currently working on our mini plan approval application. The next steps, once our demolition actually permit was approved today, so we will be working on our partial interior and exterior demolition, first starting with the porch for the exterior demolition, and then working on the fire repair. Next will be our fence removal, and long-term for next phases will be a Price Barbershop design, and then finally the construction phase. Something important to note with our budget that we're working with, this lays out our details for our bonds, our demolitions, the exact cost for exterior demolitions, as well as our landscaping that we completed, the fencing and fire repair removal, and our contingency budget. We are getting this money out of the Tourist and Product Development Fund, and of course the total funding for that is $1.16 million, approved on April 5th by council. Any questions?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, with BIDA being the owner of the property, how, receive the renderings, but we haven't been included, in any of the processes. So I just wanted to make sure that BIDA stays inclusive of everything that's going on.
We'll continue to do that, Chair Willis.
Okay, Mayor.
I think we've got members of FOA here this evening, and they've been asking some questions about it as well. So I think if we can make sure that all of our stakeholders are with us every step of the way, so there aren't any questions about it, because I know that there were some inquiries about the level of funding and what had transpired thus far.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Any other questions? And thank you for being here. I just want to say thank you for being here today also. You don't take questions, but we appreciate you all being here. And we want our partners to know that we want you all to be a part. Okay. Did you have something else?
Move to slides manually. That doesn't work.
Yeah, I need you.
It was complete. We went through all 6 slides.
What's that?
Yeah,
there's another presentation of real estate that we just currently have. Yes, Mr. Wyatt, we have another presentation on just what we currently have what BIDA currently has for real estate. So the purpose of this presentation is, again, to have the board be as aware of all the real estate properties that it currently has ownership of in the City of College Park. So as we know, the 6 West, which is a total of 311 acres. We've sold 55 acres, so it's about 256 or between 256 and 260 that's left within 6 West. Next up, we have Princeton Avenue properties. There's about 95 parcels zoned for hospitality, transit-oriented development, land development. We have Herschel and Global Gateway, which has about 3 parcels for a total of 11 acres, zoned for office professional. Roosevelt Highway and Riverdale, which is one parcel for 3.5 acres, zoned for commercial business. And finally, we have Columbia Avenue, which is about 4 parcels, 1.75 acres for transit-oriented development. And is there any questions on the real estate?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I was trying to, a developer wanted to, in a packet, list an address on Princeton Avenue. So I was asked to go by and take a look at it and see exactly where it was. Was it in TOD? Was it in the hospitality district? And I drove all down Princeton, and there's not one sign or one address on the whole block. I mean, from there all the way down. I'll take that back. It is 2 signs. One is laying on the ground, and the other one is probably 12 years old. So I don't know how we do that, but we gotta find a way to identify these properties and have some way of, because we can go out there and if someone wants to build something in a certain area, I should be able to go out there and know where that area, where it is. I have no idea where these people want to build tonight, 1725 Princeton, because there's no signage. There's no address, no nothing.
I just wanted to let you know, we spoke about that in our agenda meeting, so we're definitely going to, as a board, we're going to be trying to work on getting those properties properly numbered.
Any other questions? Okay.
Any other questions?
Well, good. That concludes our presentation at this moment. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have other business. Mr. Carr, Councilman Carr.
Well, just a couple of quick things. We had a great South Metro Development Outlook event this afternoon. This is my 3rd meeting in the convention center today, I believe. So it's good that we're keeping busy and moving forward. We talked about, I think at the last meeting, that GDOT was doing some tree removal in and around the convention center campus. They also graciously agreed to expand some of their tree removal along the ramps going up Camp Creek to Roosevelt Highway. As you know, there's a circular ramp on each side going up to Roosevelt Highway. And those, they're working on those. They started on them yesterday. They're going to finish up both sides of the ramps for the city of College Park free of charge. As you all know, those on-ramps and off-ramps are notorious for trees falling and it just being a discombobulated mess along those ramps. So they're going to clear some of that out and make it look a whole lot nicer and neater. All in all, we've gotten over $150,000 worth of landscaping services from GDOT, so we definitely want to thank them. Ms. Devon in particular, who's the District 7 Commissioner. One of the reasons, and I wanted y'all to just be aware of this, how many of y'all have been around the airport area and you've seen a lot of tree removal going on around the campus? And I guess some of us may wonder what that is about. So just FYI, the FAA has been requesting a lot of vegetation removal, partially for the same reason that we removed a lot of trees around the GICC hospitality campus. Back then, and this predates everybody in the room, when these trees were planted over 25 years ago, they didn't know what they were planting. We planted small trees that were 6 feet high with the straps on them, and they turned into 30, 40-foot monsters that were busting up our sidewalks in the GICC campus. But the FAA had issues with the trees growing so tall that they started to, I don't want to say interfering with the runway approach zones, but vegetation that close to three active runways at one time, 3 active runways, but 5 active runways totally, is just the detriment if you have an emergency and somebody's trying to land and they're within the runway approach zone. If it's an emergency, 60-foot trees don't help, if y'all know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So that's why the removal in and around these areas, and the GICC is within the runway approach zone as well, so just FYI.
Thank you, Councilman Carnes. Also, Naya, one of our bridge builders, she did the bags that you all received today. And she also launched her new business, and I just want you to come up and maybe just share a couple of words right quick.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Naya Joyce. Most of you guys might know me from the last meeting I spoke at. In the clear bags I just passed out is a few goodies, and one of them is a QR code to the link to my new business. It is called Creative Athletics. It is an athletic line. I run track. So one of the projects that me and my mommy has been working on for the longest time, what it feels like, is me building my brand and just marketing myself and putting myself out there in the track world and just me as a person. I love fashion. Well, maybe y'all can't tell right now, but I just came from track practice. But I normally look better than yours, y'all. I know I look better than some problem. But I do love fashion, I really do. I love dressing up. You can look at my mommy, for example, not me. I get it from her, but it's okay. But yes, I do love athletics. I love running track. I've been doing that for the past 12 years of my life. So being able to put my heart and soul with this project and working with my mother with this has been such an amazing experience. It's definitely been eye-opening and has definitely pushed me out of my shell because I can be conservative with my talents and a little modest. So yeah, and I decided also, along with my brand, there is like another small brand within it called the 99 Legacy Collection. It is a collection contributed to my father, who passed back in September, but he played football and he began coaching at around in his 20s, and he was coaching for years, and he spent years pouring into other athletes and pouring to students and really focusing on pouring back into his sport that he loved so much. And so in that collection, we called it the 99 Legacy Collection because his number was 99 in college. So yeah, those proceeds go to a D lineman. It is a D lineman scholarship. He was a D lineman, so we decided to contribute those proceeds to the D lineman scholarship that we have in his name. So yes, I hope you all love it, and I want to thank the people who already began starting to supporting. We have gotten a lot of orders this week, and I was quite surprised and very excited. So I'm excited to continue to build it and continue to get the support and work with my mommy on this. So yes, thank you guys.
We do believe that children are our future for sure, so thank you. Thanks for sharing. Next, we'll have reports from authority members. Okay. Before we go in, I know we're trying to hurry up, but I have something. Hold on. I may just wait till we come out of executive session. Do we have a motion to go into executive session? Go for property impending litigation. I'm sorry. You know what? That's right. I apologize. We have to do one thing before. We have the, can you share that? We have the cultural arts, and we were talking about partnering with the cultural arts, but we have a program coming up. Can you share?
Yes, I think it's very fitting that y'all talk about the February as being the Black History Month celebration. And the cultural arts sent me here to extend an invitation. Cultural arts and the Cultural Arts Council, along with the Black History Committee, wanted to extend a cordial invitation to the BIDA board to be a part of this year's Black History Month. We're celebrating unsung heroes for February the 28th at the Gateway Arena here in College Park. In honor of Carter G. Woodson, who we consider an unsung hero, who really started the Black history celebration and brought this country to a point, really as a country boy from Kentucky, a teacher, brought this country to a point to recognize Black history during February, because the Black history had been forgotten over and over, literally erased from the books. So he's been encouraging the United States, this whole country, and especially College Park now, to continue the tradition of honoring Black history, and we'll be doing that on February the 28th at the Gateway Center Arena. What makes this so special that we wanted to announce it tonight is that we are appreciating and honoring one of the unsung heroes that are connected directly to the BIDA, which will be the first time we're giving the Walt Bellamy Award recognition. In addition to that, it has been very, very precious to us to be able to have Miss Sabrina Willis, Dr. Sabrina Willis, to play a role in giving the Walt Bellamy Award, since he's her mentor in BIDA and brought her along and taught her literally everything she knows here in BIDA. So we're very proud of that. We're giving out over 12 awards from people that you know that are unsung heroes here. We're going to be highlighting them and bringing forth the contribution they made to College Park. So we certainly hope you would accept our invitation. In closing, Madam Chair, we would like to be able to give one of our flyers, maybe to your secretary, to be able to share as a reminder to each and every one of your board members that are here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're really excited. Thank you. You'll do that for us now. Oh, one more thing, okay.
Just the last quick thing, I wanted to remind everybody, obviously February 14th is Valentine's Day. We are having a senior social at the Gateway Arena Saturday evening. So obviously all the board members are welcome to come on out. I think we can accommodate everybody, board members. I heard it was a sold out event, so it should be a whole lot of fun, and so we don't want y'all to miss that. This is for seniors, that's for folks with gray hair, you know, basically. So, all right, hope to see y'all.
Thank y'all for sharing those community events. Again, do we have a motion to go into the executive session for property and litigation? So, all in favor? Take a second. You have a second? Okay, all, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Thank you. We're gonna try to keep it moving.